Hello everyone. So today we're going to explain what is KPI. KPI is nothing but key performance indicators. KPI measures what truly matters. So in this video, we're going to explain what is KPI, why KPI matters, why KPI is very critical, how to measure KPI, what are the common mistakes to avoid in KPI, KPI success formula, the different types of KPI. So all these things we're going to explain in this video. So now I'm moving into that what KPI is nothing but key performance indicators. KPI are measurable values that show how effectively individuals, teams, or organizations achieve critical business objectives. Now understand, KPI basically it is a metric that is required to measure the performance of an individual, of the individual departments like sales, marketing, after sales service, production, quality, purchase, design, all the departments, and along with that, the organization. If you want to measure the performance of an organization or the individual departments or an individual, then you need KPI, key performance indicators. Now I'm giving some examples to make you understand this concept. For an organization, what is the KPI? The KPI will be the what is the turnover? What's the turnover in this particular year or in the quarter? So that is the turnover. So that is the measures the performance of an organization. Now, if I consider the production department, what will the KPI? KPI will be the OEE, overall equipment effectiveness, and defect rate. What is the promise kept percentage, request kept percentage? All these things are basically your KPI for the production department. If it is maintenance department, the KPI will be MTTR, mean time to failures, and MTBF, mean time between failures. These are the key metrics for the maintenance department. If the sales department, what will be the revenue generate? That is basically the KPI for the sales department. If it is a marketing department, what will be the ROAS? That is return on ad spent. That is basically the KPI for the marketing department. If it is a after sales service, then it is the customer satisfaction, on time delivery. All these things are basically the KPI that basically measures the performance of an organization and the individual departments. Now, if I consider a single individual, how I will measure the performance of an individual? Then, if the person is working, suppose an engineer is working in the machine shop, manufacturing department, what will be the KPI? The KPI will be the daily targets. If in a particular month the organization has got an order of 100,000 motors they have to produce in a month, then it is break down into from the higher level to the lower level individual departments, and it is coming to the manufacturing department. So the engineer who is working in the manufacturing department, he has to produce 1,000 motors in a month. So daily that person has to comply almost 40 to 50 motors in every single day. So that is the KPI of the particular individual. So KPI comes from the higher level to the lower level, not from the lower to higher. It comes from the higher level to the lower level. So that is the basic fundamentals of KPI. Hello, this is Surajit Banerjee, a Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt. I welcome you all to our channel, the Lean Six Sigma World, your go-to place for mastering the concept of Lean Six Sigma in all aspects. So now I'm moving into my second concept, that is basically why KPIs are critical. So KPIs turn strategy into action by tracking progress, identifying gaps, and helping leaders make data-driven decisions instead of assumptions. See, if there is no KPIs there, then how can you measure the individual performance of an individual, performance of a department, performance of the organization? If I ask the maintenance department how well is your department performing, he cannot tell anything. That person cannot tell anything. If I'm asking the manufacturing department how your manufacturing department is performing, that manufacturing leader cannot say anything if there is no metric is there. So metric is required. That is the term it is given. That is a key performance indicators. Means in order to measure the performance, some key indicators are required, and these are critical. That's why these are KPIs. So that is why KPI is so important to understand, so that you should not focus on assumptions and you can take decision based on actual data. Now I am moving into the concept that is basically the KPI versus metric, the key difference. What is the key difference? See, KPI is basically a metric, but all metric cannot be KPI. Now, for an example, in the maintenance department, the key metric that is basically converted into KPI is MTTR, MTBF. But there are some other metrics are also available. Like in a maintenance department, you should have spare part management. Inventory management is also there, but these are not comes under KPI of the maintenance department. So metrics track the activities, but KPIs track the outcomes. Every KPI is a metric, but not every metric is a KPI. So that is the basic difference. Now I'm moving into the concept of types of KPI. Now there are different types of KPIs are there, like input indicators, output indicators, actionable indicators, directional indicators, financial indicators, leading indicators, lagging indicators. All these different types of KPIs are there to measure the performance of the process, the individual, and the overall organization. So different types of KPIs are available. Now we need to understand that the characteristics of a good KPI. What will be the characteristics of a good KPI? A good KPI should be smart, smart enough. Smart means specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. If all these characteristics fit into a KPI, then only it can meet the requirements. Then only you can measure the performance of an individual or the departments or the organization. Otherwise, KPI will have no use if it is not meeting the requirement of smart. Now I'm moving into uh, KPI examples across functions. As I've already explained, that for the organization, it is the turnover ratio. For the after sales department, it is the customer satisfaction, on time delivery for the manufacturing department. For the sales department, it is the revenue generated. For the marketing department, it is the return on ad spent. For the financial department, it is the ROI, return on investment. So all these things are the different examples of functions. Now, you need to understand the leading indicators versus lagging indicators. So leading indicators are basically predict the performance, predicts the outcome of a process, like training. If you are giving training today, then you will get the outcome later, 3 months, 6 months down the line, or 1 year down the line, you will get some result. So it basically predicts the outcomes of a process. That is basically the training. That is the leading indicators. Whereas lagging indicators means lagging KPIs reflect the past results like revenue achieved. So that is basically a lagging indicators. Now I'll move into common KPI mistakes to avoid. Common KPI mistakes. So you should not do this kind of mistakes and you should avoid making these kind of mistakes, like tracking too many KPIs. There should not be too many KPIs. KPI should be aligned with your business goal. That's the most important thing. Ignoring the alignment with goals. The business goal should be aligned with the KPIs. KPI should come from the higher level to the lower level, from the organization structure, then the individual departments, and then come to the sub department. From the MD, CEO level, then the GM and the shop floor managers, and then the engineers. So, like that way, KPI should be divided, and not reviewing KPIs regularly. That basically reduces the effectiveness of the KPI. So, this is the common mistake that you should avoid doing. Now, KPI reviews and continuous improvement. You should review the KPI regularly so that you can improve your process, improve your system. KPI must be reviewed periodically to reflect the changes. What are the changes that are happening with respect to the business goals? And to drive continuous improvement, KPI should be reviewed regularly. Now, KPI success formula. What is the success formula for KPI? You have to align the KPI with the business strategy, with the business goal. Reviews the KPI consistently, act on the insights. KPIs only work when used for action. Until unless you are taking action based on the KPI, your KPI will not work. You will not be able to measure the performance correctly. So your organization will not move in a correct direction, right direction. So to move the organization in the right direction, you should measure the KPI periodically and you should monitor so that the KPI should be aligned with the business goal, business strategy. And accordingly, the roles should be defined, the targets, the set values, the benchmark should be defined for the individual departments and the individuals. So if you found this video helpful, make sure to like the video, share this video, and comments below with your thoughts on KPI, key performance indicators. I'll be very happy and obliged to see your comments on this topic. I hope you have learned something new. So share your experience in the comments below. And subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications for more insightful content. You can also join our exclusive WhatsApp community to get free updates on Lean Six Sigma tools and techniques, everything. You can master Lean Six Sigma from our community itself. So I just want to take the opportunity to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for being part of this journey with the Lean Six Sigma world. So I thank you. Thank you so much.